that's the first problem with falling off track is you weren't actually on track to begin with. You're off track at home as well. It just feels a little more out of control when you're not at home.
Is that taste worth what I'm putting into my body?
All right, we just walked you through our morning routines in the last episode, but now we're going to flip the script and we're going to talk about what happens when you are nowhere near your routine, which is vacation and traveling. In this episode, we're breaking down how we stay on track with our health without obsessing or feeling like we have to give everything up. Because let's be real, vacation should be full of fun, not full of guilt. We're talking about how we fuel our bodies, we stay active without forcing workouts, and enjoy every bite and every moment without the I'm just going to start over on Monday mindset. So let's get into it. How the heck are you?
Well, Kaylin, I am good. I cannot complain at the moment. How the heck are you?
Doing all right. It's feeling a little energy drained, but it's mid-afternoon. But I love our topic of conversation for today, talking about staying on track. And it's more like, I feel like a lot of people try to do that, how you should stay on track while you're on vacation or whatever. And instead, we're just talking about how we've done it and what our experience with it is and just how we've figured out what works for us, just like our routines. And I feel like a lot of people, first of all, just don't have a routine. So, first of all, I would recommend getting into some type of routine before you expect to feel like you've stayed on some hypothetical bandwagon while you're on vacation. So I think that's the first problem with falling off track is you weren't actually on track to begin with. You're off track at home as well. It just feels a little more out of control when you're not at home.
100%. And I think that's why last episode is really good to do first. And then this one, because we talk about the importance of a routine. And now you can take what you've learned from the last episode and then apply that to your vacation lifestyle.
Because I know for me in the past, when I was doing the very restrictive type of fat loss, weight loss attempts, this whole falling off and on track, that ruled my life. So looking back, I remember when I went on vacation, it was I've worked from January 1st until this moment here today to look the way that I do. This is my week to just let go, to say, F it, I deserve this week off. I'll get back to the restrictive stuff later. And that was just so awful.
Here we go with the deserving again.
Exactly. And you're not a dog. You don't need a treat.
Yes, which I do think vacations, quote unquote, people do deserve vacations. But I think people also, I think that's just a natural human right. I don't think you need to tell yourself either that I deserve this.
You don't need to earn it.
Just go on vacation.
And I think that whole if it mindset is strictly because for a lot of us, what we did was our lifestyle, that January 1st New Year's resolution until that vacation, is it so restrictive. So then when you go on vacation, anything out of what would be normal for a normal person, it looks a little crazy. You've already overdone it because when you're at home, you're eating like a bird. You're eating maybe like a bird, maybe like a rabbit. But you're not fueling yourself when you're at home. You're not allowing yourself to have the fun when you're at home. So when you go out, it's you've been deprived for so long that now you feel this feeling of deserving to have some fun, that you've earned the right to have some fun, where that wouldn't have to be a thing if it were already built into your current lifestyle when you're at home.
Yes. I think where people go south is they treat vacation like a free for all. Like, it's all or nothing. 95% of the time, it's a lot more going out to eat situations where you're not really necessarily doing that much at home. You're in a new place, you want to try all like the different foods, everything like that. You want to have all the different experiences. This could even go hand in hand for like alcohol. Like if you go somewhere that's like more of a heavily based drinking place, it's a lot of let's just do everything, which I think where I struggled a lot is because I really do love to travel and drinking and eating. It was a free for all, of course. So it kind of all snowballs. And by the end of the weekend, by the end of the week, something like that, you're like, oh my gosh, like what have I done? Pretty much.
Yeah, and then that usually makes you feel like, oh, you have to start back from scratch whenever you get home. And I think right there, and I don't remember, this is something that I recently saw that I can't remember if I talked about in a previous episode or not, but instead of starting over, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. And your body knows that too. It's got muscle memory. So if you are in somewhat of a good routine at home, when you return back home, once you get back into that routine, your body's going to come back to its baseline, its homeostasis. That's what it's built to do.
Absolutely. And the fun does not need to stop because your lifestyle is different.
Right. And I think for me, I struggle. I'm definitely a foodie, but I struggle to relate to people that do like to drink because I've just never been that person. So I know
Mhm.
with vacations, especially depending on like who the vacation is with, what the nature of the vacation is. Like if it's a social thing, if you're going with friends, or even if you're going with family members, like they might like to drink. And like that just adds a whole different level that I've never really had to experience just because I don't care for it.
Yeah, I definitely used to drink a good amount, especially on vacations and things like that. I don't really drink as much anymore now because, as I've said multiple times in previous episodes, inflammation and me are not friends at all. And drinking definitely brings a lot of inflammation. I feel so inflamed the next morning after drinking, even if I'm not drinking like those sugary drinks or anything like that. It's just alcohol in general will cause a lot of inflammation, which I thought was normal back when I used to travel and drink a lot. But I just recently went on vacation and I didn't drink once and I had so much fun. Like, what one part that was actually very fun was me and my fiance Will, we rented like a Mustang convertible. And one thing that's cool in that circumstance is when he would drink, I got to freaking drive the Mustang convertible everywhere. So like I'm having fun.
Perks.
I'm loving driving. Yeah, I love driving this car. So like I'm fine. Do whatever. I still had a good time. I don't necessarily drink on vacation that much or drink in social settings that much, unless this gonna sound crazy, unless I'm really going for it. Like on the bachelorette trip at some point, I'm sure I will drink, but only if the vibe is there. Like I'm not I used to be a what are we drinking? When are we drinking? What bar are we going to drink? Now it's gonna be like, is the vibe there? Do I feel like alcohol will enhance this experience? And if yes, then I'll drink. But other than that, I'm good. And that's the same way I feel about vacations now and drinking. So I kind of get where people are coming from with drinking. But to those people, I would say just try not drinking one vacation and see how you feel. But also read the room. Cause like I was on a vacation with like family. So if I was on vacation with like a bunch of friends, I'm sure I would have drank one of the days. But I
Mhm.
would have felt it the next day for sure. Not like so much hangover wise, but like body wise, I definitely would have felt it. So
Yeah, and maybe we do another episode. I don't think we even talked about this, like, on alcohol and everything, because I think there's a lot to talk about on that topic.
Yeah, which fun fact, our parents literally own an alcohol company
Yes.
and neither of us drink.
No, the only alcohol I drink now, I should say in the last year and a half, has been sips of what my dad's made. That's it.
Pretty much the same. And I don't even really finish it. I take one sip, I try it, and then I throw it away.
I should actually say the last, I guess it's been a year and a half. Because, like, beginning of 2024, I was like, I don't drink anyway. Might as well just go all the way sober and see how it feels. And then I found out I was pregnant. I was like, well, I guess we're going to have to do it now. So that's cool.
There you go.
Not complaining. And then breastfeeding. I'm not going to be drinking. So,
Yeah.
side tangent. But I think, again, it's great that we talked about our routines already, because I feel like that's really what I carry into my vacations with to help me, quote unquote, stay on track. But along with the routine, I think it's important to adjust expectations because you are not at home. Like,
Mhm.
it's dependent now because I only work out, I quote unquote only work out 2 days a week. So if I can, I do still try to get my 2 workouts in for the week. If that means doing a quick workout while I'm at, usually it's the beach. So I'm going to use
Mhm.
that as an example. Like if I'm going to the beach, I will still try to get my workouts in. One, because I am familiar with the gym, but two, it's very convenient location and all of the things. If I were to go somewhere else, being completely transparent, I probably would not prioritize my workouts. I would prioritize walking and activity
Mhm.
that way, which usually on vacation we go to very walkable locations, so that's not a problem at all. But I'm not going to go out of my way, nor am I going to take time from my vacation to do it, if that makes sense. Because I can work out when I'm at home. I can't work out, or I should say, I can't go in, for example, go and walk through the Vegas Strip when I'm at home. So I'm going to do things that I can't do while I'm in a different location. And that's just me,
Mhm.
because my goals, they're not they're not focused on performance. They're not focused on any type of competitions. Like it's solely like me against me. And when I'm on vacation, that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying my vacation while doing the things that make me feel good. So that's just me. I don't know if that's how you kind of look at it when you travel. I don't think you work out when you travel, right?
I don't. I do a smidge, but I think there's like 3 different types of trips, which they all look very different. So there's the one that you can drive to that you're like in an Airbnb with like a kitchen situation. There's the one that you drive to and you're in a hotel, and then there's the one you fly to.
Mhm.
So packing for those all look extremely different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because for me, a lot of my staying on track is like keeping up with like my morning drinks, but always walking. And that's one of the biggest things. But if it's somewhere where I'm like driving to, then I can bring like Will hates when I do this. I put an 8-pound weight in my suitcase.
That you don't ever roll or care.
Well, it's like, why is this so heavy? I was like, I don't know. There's an 8-pound weight in it. That's why. But I'll bring that just because, like I said in the previous episode, I do a lot of like body weight stuff. And the most I'll use is 8 pounds. So if I can bring that with me, great. I'm already staying on track. I already have like half the battle with it just being in my suitcase. Then I had the opportunity to do it. But
Yeah.
generally, I'm bringing my morning drinks and then little things here and there if I can. Now, if I'm flying somewhere, I can't bring my morning drinks.
Hmm.
So that's
Probably
where
not
it's
your
at.
8 pound weight either.
No, no. Will would be pissed if we put my suitcase on and it was over because of my 8-pound weight.
Yes.
So no 8-pound weight in that suitcase. But I recently went to a Airbnb where I drove. We have a full kitchen. So I'm bringing my yogurt. I'm bringing a bunch of cut up fruit. I'm bringing all of my morning drinks. I have my 8-pound weight. I have a resistance band as well. Like I'm I'm bringing a bunch if I can.
Hmm.
Now, stuff without a kitchen is a little bit more difficult, but you just got to work it out. But half the battle is preparing yourself before you leave to stay on track while you're there.
Absolutely. The success is really in the planning. And one thing that I have always said, if you have ever worked with me, this is the one quote that like I stand by. I will always stand by. You can put it on my grave. If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Because if
Mm,
you're not thinking ahead, if you're not being proactive, if you're not trying to like hack and plan, you're not going to be successful because you can't just allow it to be spur of the moment. Like, yes, I'm gonna not travel with a water bottle, but I'm gonna plan to get 80 ounces of water in a day. Okay, so you need to tell me that you're gonna buy like 7 water bottles? No. You are more likely to hit your goal if you take your water bottle with you and you fill it up when you can. So, little things like that, you have to be mindful of. You have to think about, am I going to an airport? Is it like I'm going to be able to walk? Like, am I going to sit at my gate or am I going to walk in the terminal for a little bit and get some extra steps? Because I'm about to sit on a plane. Am I taking my water bottle with me? You can take them through TSA. Just don't put water in them. Fill them up after you go through. What snacks are you taking? Are you able to pack a cooler? Is there a grocery store available once you're at your destination? Do you have a kitchen? Do you not? Do you have a microwave? Do you have a fridge? Like all of those little things can be taken into consideration to know how to plan and prepare yourself for whatever your definition of success looks like for that specific.
And the amazing thing is, like, your Airbnb will tell you, your hotel, you can, if they don't tell you, you can easily call and say, do I have a microwave? Do I have a fridge in my room? They'll
There's
tell you.
and even not if you're in a hotel, there's usually some type of like common area, like a convenience area where there's a microwave that you can at least use if you don't have one in your room.
So it's really is the preparation at home. You touched a little bit on like road snacks. A lot of times when you're traveling, it's like a fast food stop or it's like gas station road snacks. So keeping ahead of that as well is huge because you got to think that travel day, you're probably already sitting a lot more than you normally do. Then we're just piling junk on top of that, which is not ideal. Me and Will, we've done it twice now, which is an issue. The last road trip we took, we did it a little bit better, but we would grill chicken and we'd bring forks and we would stab the chicken and eat chicken popsicles on our road trip. So we didn't like stop at like fast food or something like that. And we bring like fruit and like there's really good like chip alternatives and things like that you can get as well. But we had to prep all of that. Like we had to grill chicken, we had to cut up fruit, we had to, all of that is prepped. Now, the last time we went on a trip, I made like little at home chicken bites, like chicken nuggets. And I was like, this is smarter than a chicken popsicle. But still, all prep work because that travel day is sometimes the hardest day.
Yeah, and I think taking into consideration your itinerary, like your what your travel day looks like in that schedule is important too, because like it depends on what time of day you're leaving. Like when we left to go to the beach, it was after dinner. So we had planned to eat dinner at home, which meant we really didn't need snacks for the ride there. Like we
Mhm.
did what we normally did. We ate our dinner and then I brought some like dessert. It was literally cereal and like an apple in the car because it was easy to pack. Well, then when we came home, one, it wasn't my kitchen. And two, we were planning on leaving before breakfast. I said, let's just grab some breakfast on the road. We literally grabbed bagel sandwiches. Was that the most nutritious? No, but it's something that I do love. It's one of those like happy foods, enjoyment foods, the foods that you don't typically eat all the time, that it's okay to have in moderation. Had it been from my own kitchen leaving that early, I probably would have prepped some overnight oats. take it on the road with me, eat when I'm hungry.
With that being said, when we were coming back from the beach, we stopped someplace like right outside of Philly area, still in Delaware, and we got like they had like cheesesteaks and hoagies and like all that fun stuff. And we got that, which we left the beach knowing that that's what we were gonna get. I'd rather see it be a conscious decision, like you said with the bagel sandwiches and all that kind of stuff, than get caught in, "Oh, I forgot to plan." You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
That's when the hanger comes into play. That's when not so great decisions come into play when you're on the fly, have no idea what's going to happen. You're allowing life to happen to you rather than controlling what you can control, which is where you're going to stop and eat, what you're going to prep to bring with you, how that whole process and scenario is going to play out.
Yeah, you can also, if you know you're gonna stop for those things on the way home because you didn't have somewhere to prep food prior, then maybe you plan accordingly that morning before you leave of like, "Oh, let me make sure I get in some protein, or let me make sure I get in some fiber because I know this meal is not gonna look the best." It's all about that balance aspect with traveling as well, because you wanna have the good food. I wanna have the good foods,
Hmm.
like, but I don't wanna be rolling through a McDonald's drive-through because I didn't plan. And for me, a lot of the balance that I've learned over the years also comes with, is that taste worth what I'm putting into my body? Which some stuff is.
There is
I'll
nothing
say it.
worse than feeling like you've wasted calories on something that was just meh. That is
And
a pet peeve.
that's what a McDonald's drive-through is to me. Like, it's gonna be meh. It's not gonna be that good. And I'm putting actual garbage into my body. Like, I'd rather go get the cheesesteak and the hoagie that I've researched and saw pictures of and read reviews of and all that kind of jazz, because that's what he makes me do before we stop somewhere. Because he's like, if we're going to stop and get something, because if you're from Pennsylvania, like that area, coming through Philly, Jersey often from the beach, you know what a good hoagie tastes like. You know what a good cheesesteak tastes like. And if we're stopping, we're getting something good. So that's where we end up, unfortunately. We always seem to find ourselves right outside of Philly on the way back
Yeah,
from the beach, no matter which way we come.
that's not the stopping point that we choose at all. Going into Philadelphia intentionally is not what we choose. We
I
would
know.
rather stop at like one of the largest malls that I think I've ever been to in Christiana, but I don't know, that's worth it. And it's a mall, so like there's a little food court and everything, and there's different options. They've got a Chick-fil-A, but it seems like we're always traveling on Sundays, even though we don't. It just every time we come home, it's a Sunday and then we can't have the Chick-fil-A, but there's, like I said, other options, but we know what the options are. We're planning ahead for those options, and we have snacks to hold us over if for some reason baby's still sleeping in the car and not ready to stop yet, because we had that happen a couple times. But I think for me, the mindset, outside of travel days, like when we're on vacation, I always try to have like one, usually two, like intentional meals. Like now there's a favorite breakfast place that I have. So like my breakfast there honestly isn't that like off balance anyway. I get an omelet that usually has a veggie of some sort in it, and then I get pancakes and a coffee that I put a couple creamers in. Like it's nothing crazy. So the mornings that, we enjoy a breakfast out and maybe we enjoy a dinner out too, like I am just extremely mindful with what my lunch is, with what any snacks are. And what
Mhm.
I don't log my food on vacation because not that there's no point, and I don't want that to be like a further black white on off the bandwagon. But for me, I have a pretty good read on estimating serving sizes. I would rather pay attention to how I feel. And some days when I do try to roughly log and estimate things, I'm like way over on calories, but my stomach's hungry. So I'm going to have a snack or I'm going to eat something before we go out because I know I'm just going to go crazy once I get to the restaurant. And I don't want that because then I feel gross and then I feel like I've overdone it. Not that I feel guilty anymore, but that's definitely something I have experienced in the past when I either overindulge at a dinner or even on desserts. Like I've had ice creams the size of my head. I'm not joking. And
Mhm.
did I brag about it at the time? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yes. But did I need all of that at once? No.
No, but I think a lot of times when you're traveling with people, the socialness comes over meals as well. So that's something to also be mindful of and navigate with. For instance, we were down at the beach and we had gone out to dinner and then we were going to go to the boardwalk and get ice cream and things like that. That was all, whether you're hungry or not, that's like social events that you're spending time together.
Hmm.
But you just need to be mindful within yourself of like, am I really hungry? And maybe if you're not, you get the kitty ice cream instead of getting the huge cone that everyone else is getting. Do you know what I mean? You're still involved. You're still having a good time. You're just minimizing it for yourself.
I was going to say that exact thing because it's still in me that when I go out, specifically, we'll say for ice cream, because that's like the most reoccurring one for me.
Mhm.
I always ask everyone, what are you getting? Because, like, if
Mhm.
I was planning to get like a single scoop and a waffle cone, but you just told me you're going to get a sundae, well, now I'm going to consider getting a sundae. I still do that. I still do it. I I will say I'm proud of myself when we went for ice cream on this last trip. First of all, it was our first and only trip so far to my favorite ice cream down at the beach. So I was already like, I'm going to get what I want because I want to enjoy it. And I was like, honestly, I want more than a kitty because, like, it's just so good. And not that I deserve it, but I was like, I want more than a kitty. So I asked my husband, what are you getting? He's like, oh, I think I'm just going to get a kitty. And I was like, well, I want more than a kitty. So let me look at the one scoop. It was $7 for a one scoop. And I was like, "What the heck?" I wanted a waffle
Wow.
cone too, so, like, I'm pretty sure that's, like, an extra 50 cents or a dollar or something. Then I was like, "Well, it's only $1 more for a 2 scoop." It's like, financially, that just makes more sense, like, why not get more ice cream for 1 more dollar? Like, you're already paying $7. You've already made it over the hump. The easy part is paying another dollar for a little more ice cream.
Mhm.
And then I was proud of myself because by the time I ordered, I had talked myself out of we have to get the most bang for our buck with this ice cream order. I got the one scoop. Could I have got a kitty? Probably, but I feel like it looks weird in a waffle cone when you have like a little itty bitty serving of ice cream. So I got the one
Mhm.
scoop, which for them, and I totally forgot, it's literally 3 scoops of ice cream. One scoop equals 3 scoops. Why? I don't know. But I just got the one scoop, and I didn't care that it was $7 because it was the one time I was getting this ice cream this summer. Not that I won't ever have it again, but I was able to enjoy the ice cream. I got what I wanted, and I didn't feel like I missed out, even though everyone else got a kitty. I still got what I wanted, and I enjoyed it. And then when I came home, I still had a new low weigh-in. So, like, I was told that I deserved to have that ice cream. It validated my ice cream experience.
Good. Well, I'm glad you got the ice cream if you're wanting the ice cream. That's the thing. Like, you have to just sit back and really listen to your body and say, do I actually want this? Or am I just doing it because I'm on vacation or because everyone else is doing it? Like,
Mhm.
make sure you're still checking in with yourself because I had the best freaking meal on vacation. This is my meal to a T. I think I might have already somewhat shared with you. Okay. It's literally heirloom tomatoes. First of all, this place we went to, the menu, it said where everything was from, which I love. That's exactly what I want to see. And it just took a little research to find this place too. And it was I didn't go because there was like where everything was, but I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I love to see it. The meal I got, it was heirloom tomatoes cut up, a basil emulsion, like a creamy basil sauce, and a fig reduction situation, a fig glaze, like a balsamic glaze almost, a smoked sea salt black pepper, fried mozzarella, and then you can add a crab cake to make it a meal. I said, that's the most perfect meal I've ever heard of in my entire life. And it was one of the best meals I had on vacation and all pretty clean stuff.
That sounds very
So you can
fresh.
eat, yeah, you can eat the foods you want and they taste amazing and they can still be fresh and filling. And then if you want ice cream afterwards, go get freaking ice cream. Like, who cares? It's the mindset when you're on vacation. Because if you go into the vacation with the mindset of, "Ugh, I'm really gonna try and stay on my diet," you're already being like you're an issue. First of all, I have such a beef with the word diet.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lifestyle, and you take in the lifestyle, whether you're home, whether you're on vacation, like, it's a balanced lifestyle. It's not a diet. Like, this is just the way you eat,
And
and you have to do it the rest of your life.
that's really why there's no on track or off track in my head.
Yeah.
Like, you're either living or you're dead. So how are you choosing to live? It's as black
Yeah.
and white as that. And the way that you choose to live is what you're doing. Like, you don't need to diet. You don't need to restrict. You don't need to earn things. How you lay
Mhm.
out your everyday is how you should be able to live on vacation as well. One thing I will say when it comes to eating out, and for me, this is on vacation more because we just don't typically eat out at home. But if we did eat
Mhm.
out more at home, I'd probably like practice this as well. If we're going out to eat often, usually it's places that we feel are worth it. They have something that we really enjoy on the menu. Split it with someone. You don't have to have a whole entree. Like when we went to Texas, I think that was one of our favoriteest, I said favoriteest trips ever. Because if there were things that we wanted to try, we just split them. We were able to enjoy them and we didn't feel overly stuffed. We didn't feel gross. We didn't feel bloated. We ate what we wanted. And dare I say, we even threw some things away that we didn't want or that we were too full to eat.
I love splitting stuff. I absolutely love it. I will always split stuff. When we went on vacation, I split stuff with you. Whenever I go on vacation with Will, I will always split stuff with Will because I want to try a bunch of different stuff. But the cost and the proportions in America are huge. And I can't finish my meal by myself, let alone what if I want to try something else? And you can customize a split as well. Like will eat with the bun of a burger and like I'll take it off. I just take off my bun. And then I'm splitting and I'm still having a good time. I'm still trying stuff. I'm trying different stuff. This one place I got a hoagie. I had like 2 bites with the bun and I was like, it's all right. And then I took the bun off and I cut up the meat and I cut up the all that stuff and just ate that almost like a salad. But Will had the other half of the hoagie. Splitting is my favorite thing to freaking do.
So if you're not splitting your foods, start because it makes your life
Start.
so much better.
Find a buddy.
And even if you don't have a buddy and it's something that you can have later, like you're allowed to eat it later. You have permission.
Well, little tip, order a box when you order your food.
Mm-hmm.
Split it right away.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
going back to like the mindset with travel, with food, those kinds of things, I love like the just framing. I think framing everything, expectations for everything is really what sets the experience and the tone. So like going into your vacation, always remind yourself that like you don't need to restrict yourself. You're allowed to enjoy things. You have to give yourself permission to do that. While you're there, remind yourself that you're here to feel good. You are not here to leave bloated and feel guilty. So do what you are going to enjoy, have fun with it, make conscious decisions that you're going to align with. This is one thing that I was thinking about. Like, I need to share this with everyone. Always act in accordance to or in alignment with your future self. So when you're doing something, for instance, the thought crossed my mind when I was cleaning up from lunch. For a second, I was going to leave all of my dishes in the sink to soak for a little bit. And then I reminded myself that I am not a person that leaves dishes in the sink. So as the water was running, I picked up the glasses, the dishware, I rinsed them out, and I put them directly in the dishwasher. And as I did it, I said, future Kaylin is going to thank me because I'm not going to have
Mm.
to do it later. And it goes much deeper than just the dishes. You need to set up your future self for success. So if that means going for a walk right away when you wake up in the morning on vacation, that's setting you up for success if you know you're going to be sitting on a beach all day. If you know you're going to have a lot of drink, you're probably going to want to start hydrating in the morning. Maybe have a little electrolytes beforehand. If you know that you're going to have this big, crazy, blown out meal, maybe you're going to prioritize your protein in the morning. There's ways to prepare yourself, and this is the failing to preparing to fail thing. You have to look ahead. You have to look out for yourself because no one else is going to do that for you. That was a little tangent. Do you have anything to add?
I want to touch a little bit on traveling with people that don't share your goals. And we
Mhm.
kind of talked about that a little bit with traveling with like heavy drinkers and stuff like that. But I want to say it with food and stuff as well. Don't be afraid of your goals or to share your goals with people. If you want to wake up and walk and work out, don't be like, oh, like it's gonna look like I'm doing too much. No. I think it's gonna be inspiring to people of like, wow, like you're doing that even on vacation. Like, cause that's always everyone's first, wow, you're doing that even on vacation. It's like, I just do this in general. Like,
And
this is just me.
with that, I feel like, especially when you're on vacation, if you choose to wake up, or maybe you've got a kid that wakes you up, like, I love being productive with my waking hours. If I'm awake, I'm going to use that time. Like, I'm not going to sit and scroll on my phone or sit and watch my daughter play. I'm going to go on, I'm going to get a walk in. One, it's going to give me activity. Two, it's going to get me out in fresh air. Three, if the sun's up already, like, there's just so many benefits and everyone else is still sleeping. So, like, I'm getting ahead of my day. Why
Mhm.
not?
It doesn't matter what people think. Like, order what you want at the restaurant. If in that moment you want, because your body's like, please give me something with nutrients, and you order a chicken breast with some vegetables, and they're like, on vacation. And it's like, I'm listening to my body. That's what my body needs right now. And that's the lifestyle I live is I listen to my body. So if you're traveling with people that don't align with your goals and your mindset, that's okay. They're your goals and your mindset for a reason. So just do it and own it.
Yeah. I think the biggest mistake is allowing other people's perceptions to change what you do for you, or being so afraid to stand up for yourself.
Yes.
And like people pleasing again. You can't be a people pleaser with people that just don't get it. And they don't have to get it. You can't expect them to get it. The only thing that matters is that you get it.
Exactly. And I think it's so funny because it reminds me of like when we go on vacation as a family, which we're a pretty healthy family. So when we go on vacation as a family, like me and you are very on the same health wavelength. Our parents are still on the same health wavelength, but sometimes they just don't get it. And I am actually doing the opposite of what I just told everyone to do because we're like bullying our parents into being healthy on vacation.
Yeah, but I think it's for the better, honestly.
Oh, for sure. If you have a good relationship with people to be able to do that, and you're just coming out of a place of love and help, that's fine. Bullying might have been a strong term, but
I will say influencing, because I feel like we're influencing them to make better decisions. Or
like
just educating them because they don't know.
exactly. With the certain like snacks they would bring and all that kind of stuff. I'm the ingredient police. So like I'm the one ruining the vacation
And I'm just
personally
somewhere
because
in
I'm like,
between. And then I'm like, actually, you know what? Go Ellie. Yeah.
yes. Because I'm like, well, look at this ingredient, look at this ingredient, and look at that. And they're like, well, we just wanted to bring the chips. And I'm like, no, this is ruining it.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We have fun.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes vacations are a good time because they're an extended period of time that you're spending with other people. Sometimes they are a good time to educate and try to influence a little bit. Don't ruin anyone's vacation. I'm not telling anyone to ruin anyone's vacation. But if people are curious, feel open to chat about your lifestyle and how you eat and why you eat that way and things like that. And then you could be helping someone as well. So,
Yeah. I think for me, the most fun part about this lifestyle that I've created is that in the beginning, it used to be, I remember this one person would tell me that I ate like a bunny. Like I was always having carrots, I was always eating salads. Like that was back when I was restricting, good times in 2019. So going from that person that was known to be eating like a bunny when I was like the not most unhealthy, but as far as weight loss journey goes, it was definitely a restrictive, toxic cycle that I was in. So going from that to being the person that does prioritize their health, that is the healthy girl, the fit girl that goes on vacation and does things that no one would expect you to do when you're on vacation, having the dessert, eating all the eating the pancakes, like all of the things that you just wouldn't typically expect to see while someone's on a health journey is really fun. And that's what I hope a lot of our listeners will get from this is that they can define what that balance looks like for them and maybe go against what the grain has always said it should look like and inspire more people to get out of the diet culture, get out of those toxic cycles, and just build what feels best and most natural to them.
mhm.
Ultimately, I feel like the best thing that they could get is learning to trust not only themselves, but their bodies when they come home from vacation, not feeling the need to restrict and punish and run off the guilt and the shame, but actually feeling like they can just return back to normal, get back to the same old, and that things are going to balance again. You don't have to change anything.
And just remember the scale fluctuates. So when you come back, for instance, I just came back from a trip not too long ago and I was on there for 4 days and I think the scale was up like 8 pounds or something. And I was like, whoa. And then I took a step back. And I said, there is no scientific way that you gained 8 pounds on this trip. You're just holding water like crazy. And I was like, okay, it'll be okay. Went on the next day and the day after that with all my anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, my all my normal routine. I was back down to exactly what I was because I was just holding water. That's all it was. So you're not gonna gain when people come back and they're like, oh, I like came back and I was like up 10 pounds. It's like, no, 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 no. That's not really scientifically possible.
Like now, imagine if you didn't know what you know now, you saw that spike and you gave up.
Oh my God, I would have freaked out back in the day.
Right? Like, that's
Yeah.
one of those moments where it's like, what if I gave up then? But you didn't.
Yeah.
You did what you needed to do. You brought consistency. I think that's the biggest thing. You brought the consistency back. You practice it, practice it, practice it, and things level out. All is okay in the world. The
Well,
sky is not falling.
I craved that consistency back at that point.
Hmm.
I was like, where's my routine? Where's the stuff I know makes me feel so good? Like I need that back. Because we talked about with the scale fluctuation, like when you're traveling, things like that, sometimes your digestive system is out of whack and you're just eating naturally more inflammatory foods and things like that. I just need 1 or 2 days back in my routine and I'm fine again.
I think at the end of the day, we forget that we're animals, and typically animals crave habit, routine,
Hmm.
and it's just natural. So if you're feeling
Yeah.
chaotic, it's probably because they don't have a routine and you should make one. We're back on routine somehow, but I think this was a great episode, and I'm hoping it's helpful. Even though it's toward the end of summer, I'm hoping it's still helpful because I know end of summer tends to be a kind of chaotic time as well. So this doesn't just apply to vacations, it can apply to whenever your life is out of routine, that you can practice these things to help you feel like you're quote unquote staying on track. So, whether you do have a beach trip coming up or even a weekend away with your family, we do hope that this gave you some ideas, gave you some insight, and more specifically, some permission to enjoy yourself and to feel good in your body without ditching your goals entirely. If you love this episode, please share it with a travel buddy, maybe a family member, someone that you love that you might want to inspire to start living a healthier lifestyle. Or send us your favorite vacation habit that helps you feel your best. And hey, if you're craving more structure or needing more support to build the lifestyle that feels best for you and isn't going to fall apart every time you leave town, I do have a few more one-on-one coaching spots open, which could have your name on it if we are a good fit. So you can check out the link in the description, or you can head to my Instagram. There's a link in my bio, or you can DM me and we'll see if we're a good fit. So, with that, we will see you next week in the next episode. Bye.